Good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You were missed, no, but your friend did very well.
All right, great. Dro, yeah.
Spell that. D-R.
DRO.
Oh, oh, that was tough.
Yeah, it's just like it sounds, Dro.
Okay. Is that an ethnic name?
What?
Is it an ethnic name?
He's Armenian, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah, he's our GIS guy.
Oh, okay.
He's relatively new to the office, does a great job.
Good. What else is going on? Anything exciting?
Nope. Browns won. Woo-hoo.
Yes. I'll tell you, they scare me though to the last minute.
You know what? I turned it off.
No.
I didn't know. So I turned it off when Cincinnati scored that last touchdown. I thought, well, with a minute left, come on, there's no way. So I was later on the day, I was texting some friends saying, oh, it's too bad the Browns lost. And they're like, what are you talking about? They won. So.
Well, good.
Almost like the cardiac kids days back in the, what was that, 80s or 90s? I can't remember when. A long time ago.
Yeah. Oh, I see we have Councilman Casey with us this morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
Good morning.
Doing well.
Good to see you all.
Good to be seen and not viewed.
True. All staying safe. Everything going well.
Yes, for me.
How are these meetings going via WebEx?
Slow and steady.
I think they're going very well, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
Better than expected.
Yeah. I think we figured it out, and I think it's working well.
Good.
It has its advantages and disadvantages, you know.
I miss I never thought I would say this, but I actually miss Monday nights going down to council and just seeing people. Right.
Well, yeah, the human contact. Yeah.
Right.
I'm with you on that, Councilman.
I don't miss the commute to work or any of that part, though, I have to say.
Well, that was my exercise. I would walk to City Hall on Mondays.
Right. You live downtown. I forgot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely that human contact and element, and especially for us, like during meetings and stuff like that, there's nothing better than getting that face to face, having the eye contact and just the body language. You can, it's all so much different this way.
True.
Morning, Liz.
Good morning.
Morning, Liz.
How is everyone?
Good.
Good. You're blacking in and out.
I had to wipe off my screen. I have a little sticker on it.
Oh.
I mean, wipe off my camera. Sorry. My camera has a little sticker on it when I'm not using it to cover the webcam. So I wanted to wipe off the glue.
Mine just slides down behind. I just push it down. Yeah, just push it down. Are we expecting all the board members except for Kelly?
Yes, I think so. I haven't heard anything otherwise.
Oh, Kelly's still out?
Till the 23rd of November.
Well, the weather sure did take a change for the worse.
Overnight,
Yeah.
80 to 40.
Hey, Maurice, did you notice when you get the call from the WebEx that the call ID says Florida Concrete Masonry? Do you get that on your phone?
You get a call from WebEx. I don't understand.
So when you log in with you want to use your phone audio. They'll call you. The WebEx will call you.
Oh, I've never used that feature. I just dial in myself.
Okay. So when you get that call, the caller ID says Florida Concrete Masonry. Masonry, I think. I don't see the rest of it. I almost didn't answer. I'm like, well, who is this
I was
calling me
gonna
right
say,
now?
I don't think I would have answered that. So many spam calls and political calls right now. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
Right.
Well, I've assigned a ringtone to each of my children, so that I don't have to answer anything else. Barbara's Law and Order. David is Tequila. Terry is It's Your Daughter. Michael is It's Your Son. So fun. And my sisters are It's Your Sister. Answer the phone.
Yeah, I don't answer any calls that I don't recognize. They can leave a message if they really need to talk to me.
I just don't. Okay. I don't see any.
board members.
Me neither. No Tim, no Ilana.
There's Rick
Let me check
Riccardi. I know that Shannon was coming because she's going to, if there's, well, Shannon will speak on the first case if it's held. I don't see Lori Wagner yet either.
I just checked my work email. Nobody is reaching out for the link or anything. So, and I did touch base with Alana this morning. She was looking for the resolution, so I know that she's at least up and looking at the stuff.
Okay, Merlin is on. Alana's coming on.
Good morning, family.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, Millie Gonzalez.
Don't say that. That must make me the grandmother.
Lori Wagner, are you here? Nope, guess not.
Shannon's here.
Do we have Lori Wagner yet?
Not on my screen.
You know
She's
what?
a call. She's
she
a calling
actually-
user.
She was supposed to be on vacation this week. I don't know if she's going to be logging in for this.
She said she would be.
I'm here.
Wait, could you speak up again? Lori?
No.
I think she's calling user 4.
Well, it's 9:30. Where's Tim? We only have 2 board members. I don't know. 3 board members. We got Merlin is on the phone. Okay, Tim's on now.
I'm here.
Okay, good. I'm going to call the board to order. It's 9:31. To call a meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals to order on this Monday, October the 26th, 2020. Mrs. Kukla, will you please read the preamble?
You're muted.
Mrs. Kukla.
We
That's
can't hear you.
interesting. It's muted on my phone and on the screen. Okay, I got it now. I think, can you hear me?
Yes, and we can see you.
Okay, this is Liz Kukla. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I'm going to read the preamble this morning. In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law under COVID-19 emergency declaration, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conduct this meeting according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. And when finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Next slide, Maurice. All meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Liz, do a roll call, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Faith?
I am present.
Ms. Barnes? Ms. Barnes, could you repeat?
Vice President.
Thank you. Mr. Donovan?
Here.
Mrs. Johnson?
I'm here. Okay. Do we have any postponements or withdrawals? If
No,
not,
Madam Chair, we don't have. No.
okay, then we'll start with calendar 20-151 at 11800 Sprecher Avenue, Ameritrust Company National Association. Go ahead, Ms. Faith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Calendar number 20-151 at 11800 Sprecher Avenue, Ameritrust Company National Association. Owner proposes to erect a 50-foot high by 51-foot by 16-foot two-sided electronic digital billboard in a B2 general industry district. The owner appeals for strict relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record.
Thank you very much. Mr. Donovan, swear everybody in.
Everyone for this case, please raise your right hand. I'm going to make a statement. Your response will be "I do," followed by your name. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. I do.
I need your name.
I do.
Councilman Casey, I do.
I do. Tom Russia.
I do, Christopher.
Scott Feinerman.
Anybody else?
Looks like that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. History of the property, please, Mrs. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. I found no records for this property in the record room. There are no variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history.
Okay. The legal standard we'll be judging the case on, please. Who's-
Are you muted, Tom?
Standard of review to be applied is whether the administrative decision was illegal, arbitrary, capricious, unreasonable, or unsupported by the preponderance of substantial, reliable, and probative evidence. If the appellant fails to meet this burden, the administrative decision must be affirmed.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wagner. Who's going to be the spokesperson for the Ameritrust?
Christopher Maduri, along with partners Tom and Brescia and Scott Feinerman. But Christopher Maduri will take the lead right now.
Madam Chair, may I interrupt for a second? We have Shannon Leonard with her hands raised. I think she wants to give us some insight about the process here.
Okay, go right ahead, Shannon.
Shannon Leonard, City Planning. So this case is most likely going to need to be postponed. We are still waiting on the director to make an administrative decision about whether this billboard is appropriate at this location. And without his decision, there's really nothing that BZA can do because basically they're either, if the director approves that the billboard goes here, they don't have to come to BZA. If they, and the Lori can speak to this, but if he does not approve it, then they would be here to appeal his administrative decision and then be seeking the variances that they need, which would be the adding an automatic changeable copy billboard and the spacing, since they are located within approximately 832 to 852 feet of another already established billboard. And so the law department can speak to this a little bit more, but it's my understanding that we are still waiting on Director Collier's written decision or his live testimony.
So we,
one question of clarification.
yes, Tim, go ahead.
Is the messaging on the billboard going to be restricted to just the Ameritrust?
No, this is a massive billboard on the side of 480 West.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
Okay, so we're postponing this.
This is Lori Wagner, and I concur with what Shannon said. If, in fact, the director has not made a decision yet, then there's nothing for the board to review.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to postpone this case. Shannon, how long do you think we need?
Give them a month.
A month?
Yep.
Okay. I have a date, Mrs. Kukla?
Yes, Madam Chair, that would be November 30th.
Okay.
Madam Chair, we have Brian, Councilman Casey.
Okay.
Hand raised.
Councilman?
Madam Chairwoman, members of the board, it's always good to see you. Meeting, and how long has he had this in front of him that he has not made a decision on this piece of legislation? Do we know?
So we did have a meeting in context purposes with the neighborhood planner, Adam Davenport, and Director Collier right before the COVID shutdown. So I would say that honestly, within 2 weeks, we could most definitely get something from Director Collier. Between Maurice, myself, and Adam, I think that would be fair.
And is anybody here today? If the director's not here today, is anybody here representing the director?
Right. So city planning, this is really a legal issue more than anything, I believe. Lori could chime in on that, but that's the real issue here is the legal aspect of the zoning code and the requirement that the director make an administrative decision.
This has been since
Yes,
March.
that is correct. There are people here representing the planning department, but they can't make a decision for the director.
Right.
Exactly.
Ms. Johnson, the application has not been in since March. We had a conversation with the applicant before, right literally like a week or two before the COVID shutdown. And there's just been a lot going on. I really can't speak for the director myself.
Okay.
But they did get the we did have them go ahead and submit the application for due process purposes. And at this point, it's just simply a decision we're waiting for.
Okay. Yeah, I see that it was really filed in September. So.
And then,
Okay.
Madam, if I heard correctly, if the director okays it, then we do not have to come back to BZA, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. You're right.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.
you.
Thank you, members of the board.
So let's postpone it till the 30th in case we may have to take it off the record anyway, if the director decides that. Okay? Without objection, board?
Without
Without
objection.
objection from me.
Okay.
Without objection, Madam Chair.
Okay, great. Moving right along. Thank you, Councilman. Have a blessed day. I don't think you have another case in front of me today. No. Okay, we'll go to calendar 20-153 at 10933 Superior Avenue.
Madam Chair, I believe Shannon wrote something in the chat about this case. I think this case also needs to be postponed at the request of city planning and the neighborhood planner, Sharonda Watley. Is that correct, Shannon?
That's correct. They need to go to design review for the landscaping.
I'm sorry, but I'm present. This is Ariel Scott. I received something from the city planner and she was asking me, did I want to postpone for the landscaping? And I told her no, that I wanted to go to zoning after speaking with the councilman.
This is Shannon Leonard, city planning. This location is located in a design review district. And so typically we do request that the applicants do work with the city planner and do the design review, whether it's working with the applicant or the owner of the building that the applicant is requesting to be present in, at least to go through and have some of that insight and consult before we weigh on variances at Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay, so I was aware of this. Did you receive any of the letters from the councilman and everything? Because I was told to go up for a variance.
So we did receive, I did not personally receive anything from the councilman, but Ms. Watley has requested that you do go through the design review process. Typically, the councilmen do not have a say on the design review process, regardless of the application. Now, if you want to go forward with the variances and you definitely don't want to do design review, then the board can make that decision on whether they choose to have you go through design review or they go ahead and weigh on the variances.
Okay, so from my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, after speaking with Miss Carolyn, I was told that I didn't have to do design review because of the signage I was going through. It's like a grant or something for signage. And when you go through that program, it overrides you from having to go up for design review because I guess they pull that permit and does that footwork for me.
Are you talking about the storefront renovation program?
Yes.
I'm not sure. We weren't informed of that at this point.
Yes, I have all the information in email. I've already submitted my application for the storefront renovation program, and that was also one of the things noted in the return email and after speaking with Miss Carolyn. So that is correct information, right? That once you go through that renovation program, that it overrides you from going up in front of design review?
That's not correct. So what happens is, first of all, the variances you need to do aren't anything to do with signage. And second of all, when you go through storefront renovation program, there's an approval process between community development and planning that occurs.
Correct. And just making an application to that program is not sufficient. You'd have to actually have gone through the program, come up with the designs that were approved by community development and city planning. Then you would come to building and housing. I'm sorry, Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay, so so at this point, I thought that I was here to obtain variances for the landscaping violations. Is that not correct?
That is correct. You are here for the needing landscaping variances, but that is something that is typically handled initially through design review in the city planning process, hoping so that they can help you through so that you wouldn't have to be here to get variances.
Because after speaking with the councilman, which I don't know if I was given wrong information here, but if the variances were granted, that gave me time to fix the violations, correct?
No, a variance would mean that you do not need to even do anything with the landscaping. You would be accepted from it.
Okay, because I was just kind of reading over the letter that he wrote. So am I able to move forward and request variances, or somebody has
Not at
to
this point.
pay for me, or I'm not.
Going through design review will give us the information we need to weigh in on whether or not to grant your variances.
Through design.
And Madam Chair, Shannon also typed in the chat that Sharonda Watley has not had much luck with this applicant as far as getting in touch with her and to work with her. So I definitely would recommend that we postpone this until she has met with the neighborhood planner at the very least, and probably needs to go through design review.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can we suggest that perhaps Shannon can help expedite the connection between Ms. Watley and the appellant so this can move forward for the appellant? I'm sensing because of COVID, there may be a sense of urgency to get this up and running so she has, income coming in. So is that something we can make happen with Shannon? Thank you.
No issue.
I'm sorry?
It's really Watley's project, right?
Yeah, and she sent several emails, and I think made some contact points. And understand, I mean, the applicant does always have the option to just totally, completely say, I don't want to do design review, and then go to Board of Zoning Appeals. But what always happens is that you guys ask them to go through design review. And so we tried to make that, I believe Ms. Watley tried to make that fairly clear, regardless of councilman or whomever has sent in letters, because, the landscaping at this location is important. And there was a reason why they need those variances. So again, I know Ms. Watley had asked if you could please have the applicant, get in touch so could work with her. It's not a long process. She simply needs landscaping. The owner at this location has known for years that they needed landscaping. And so every time something has come up, they've just kind of obscured the process. And so we're at a juncture here where we either grant the variances or we say, no, hey, look, you and the owner need to get together and fix this situation. Superior is the area that we have added the urban form overlay, including this location. The only reason why this application doesn't need to conform to the urban form overlay is because it is an existing structure. But they do need to conform to the landscaping that we require of all of our businesses in the city of Cleveland to make them attractive, to make the neighborhoods continue the character. There's just so many reasons why that we need landscaping at our businesses. And so
Madam Chair.
that's really the request.
Sorry, Madam Chair, Ms. Scott has her hand raised. The applicant.
Hi, so I was made aware of everything that she just stated, and that was the whole point of personally meeting with the councilman. The councilman has came out and viewed the building inside and out. I have cleaned up a lot and made it look, very appropriate for the community and for the business that I am trying to conduct there. And that was also one of the reasons why the councilman was willing to back me and wrote a letter and sent it in. I'm not sure if you guys have even taken a chance to read it or even reach out to him to see what he had to say regarding that business being in the community. But he was 100% backing and wanted me to go up and obtain those variances so that I can open my business, seeing that, you know, it's considered essential. I've been established for 4 years on 88th and Superior, which is a type B, and I've outgrown it, and I have parents that I've been continuously turning down because I don't have the space. So this has been a true hindrance to me. I understand the owner and everything he has tried to do there, and I kind of feel like I'm being punished a little bit because he didn't take it serious with previous tenants or whatever else he tried to do. But if I could just go up for the variance, I think it would really, you know, help me a lot here.
Madam Chair, to Ms. Kukla, do we have anything from the councilman? I did not receive anything for the presentation.
I just looked through my email. I don't have it from Conwell. I don't remember his aide's name, but if anybody has that, I could search for that in my email. But at this time, I don't have anything directly from him.
Do we have a plan for this project?
From Carolyn, but Miss Liz, you asked me to email it over to you as well, and I did. I actually just shared it from them, so it should have all 3 emails attached. But mine is the CTB Enrichment Center at gmail.com. Because after speaking to you, you did ask me to get it over to you.
Do we have a plan for this project?
We don't have a landscaping plan, as far as I know, do we?
We have no site plan.
No site.
So we cannot judge cases without a plan.
I've submitted a site plan and a floor plan.
But
Liz should have a copy of that as well.
we have that, but it doesn't show any landscaping.
Well, we can fill that in. We as a board have the ability to put conditions on our approval. If we want to rim that whole site with a 6-foot landscaping strip, then that's part of the design that we're forced to do because it hasn't gone through design review.
Are you the owner, Ms. Scott? Are you the owner of the building or just a renter?
I'm the renter.
Okay. We can't do this, you know, on her, unless she has a letter from the owner that says she can represent him.
Well, that's the letter. So what, you know, I mean, if we wanted to go in there and design it at the table here, if she approves it, then, you know, that's that. I don't think it's the best way to do it. I think you're going to end up with a very heavy landscaping plan rather than if you go through design review, where you'd have more of a give and take, I think.
Chair. We don't have a letter from limited liability that she can represent them at the table.
Okay.
So, no, she has to. No,
Chair, we do have that. We do have an authorization letter. I thought I heard that. Yeah.
Madam
We
Chair.
have that here in the back.
Okay, so now she can represent him.
Madam Chair, we have Shannon with her hand raised again.
Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon Leonard, City Planning. So we would really request them to go through design review. You know, with it being in this location, Sharana can really work with the applicant fairly quickly to get her on the next design review. All it requires is an update of her site plan with the owner to handle the frontage strip and the rear strips. In addition to the fact that the applicant should know if she was to go forward with variances today, and you all did not grant the variances, that, you know, at this location, this same request could not be requested in the future. It's basically final. Now, you guys could add a condition But it would be just preferable to follow the process like we do with every other application to go through the correct design review. As noted, number 2, you guys cannot grant the city needs to go to city planning variance.
Okay.
We're giving the appellant good advice here. Doesn't seem like she wants to follow it.
Shannon, can you organize a meeting with her and Sharon Rotley as soon as possible?
That's no
Madam
issue.
Chair,
Yes.
Madam Chair, I did find the councilman's letter. I don't know if you want me to read it.
Yes, please.
Councilman Conwell writes, I am writing this letter of support for Ms. Ariel Scott, who is planning to open her daycare from Caterpillars to Butterflies Enrichment Center at 10933 Superior Avenue. We met on Friday, October 2nd, 2020, and I had a chance to see the progress she has made at her new location. She's applied for a zoning variance in order to get a certificate of occupancy. I want to make sure that she can obtain the variance she needs to open her daycare facility this fall. I reviewed the issues that need to be addressed with landscaping, and I'm confident that the landlord will make the changes once the variances have been approved. Ms. Scott is requesting to change the use from retail store to daycare in a local retail business district. Our neighborhood needs another daycare business to service the Glenville neighborhood. I am glad that Ms. Scott is creating jobs for residents in our neighborhood. I apologize to Ms. Scott that I did not have that for the PowerPoint.
What landscaping plan?
There is none.
So the councilman refers to a landscaping plan that doesn't exist. It's kind of hard for us to get that and put that in writing.
No, Madam Chair, he stated that he believes that the landlord will make the changes once the variance has been approved.
Yeah, I know, but the changes to what, Liz?
Yeah. You don't have a plan.
We have no
There's nothing to
plan.
change it to. There's no plan. He
We
says
have a
everything
site
right,
plan.
but you know, what we need is the plan so he can say, yeah, that's it.
Maurice, we do have a site plan, right?
Yes.
Site plan, yes, I just had it up on screen. There's no changes proposed at all. It's pretty much existing conditions.
If you grant the variances,
today-
there's no landscaping required. But if you
So
add the conditions that they need to add landscaping, then they don't need the variances. So again, I just would encourage, this to go through design review and get the necessary things taken care of to get a plan, because if they had the landscaping, they wouldn't need the variances.
Madam Chair, that's not true unless there's something in the code that allows city planning to give a variance to the total build out requirement. They still need a variance to that building requirement issue.
Liz, it's not a new construction or an addition. So the urban form overlay, as you remember, doesn't apply here.
Madam Chair, this is the updated notice of nonconformance for building and housing. I would trust that they had the right information, as we did have an original case that came through, notice of nonconformance that was received. And it was updated subsequently after information was given to Mr. Riccardi.
Okay.
Madam Chair, we do have Mr. Riccardi online here. If we want to verify that this is the latest adjudication.
Mr. Riccardi?
He types, yes, it is.
Okay. All right. We really have to postpone this to have her meet with Sharon Watley to get a landscaping plan that can be shown to the planning department. There are no shortcuts.
I've had my hand up. The one that she has on board, there should have been another one emailed to Liz, because I did speak with Sharonda, and that was the whole point of the councilman's letter. There is a landscaping plan. Sharonda was able to pull up a picture and show me alongside of Parkwood, I have grass areas, and there's a specific kind of gate that they would like to go outside of that landscaping. It looks exactly like the drive-through store adjacent from the building. But the thing is, that's gonna take more money. And that's why I was, the councilman stated, if these variances are approved, once she gets up and going and brings in a little bit more income, then the changes will be made. I'm not trying to beat anyone out or, ask for a favor or not apply with the rules. I'm just asking for the variance so that I can do what I need to do to make the changes.
Well, I feel it's the owner of the building to do the landscaping. And
well,
you,
at this point, if he's not willing to do it for whatever reason, seeing that he hasn't done it in all of these years, I'm already invested and have a lease signed. So the least of my worries is taking care of a landscaping. I'm gonna do it because I'm already invested and have a lease. So if I have to work out down the line, maybe if he takes something off of my rent or whatever me and him discuss and have drawn up into a contract, then I'll worry about that later. But I'm willing to do the work.
oh, man.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Alana.
can we ask Shannon again if she can expedite this process for the appellant? And sort of, we need to get whoever needs to get involved in this with Ms. Watley and with the appellant, and if we need community development in it. So this can be expedited. When does design review meet again, Shannon?
So if the applicant could get a site plan based on what she or the owner plans to do in the future, or however, to Ms. Watley, this week, she has design review next Tuesday. I'm sure that Sharonda could get her on the agenda.
For
and
next
then
Tuesday.
Yeah, assuming that she gets the proper paperwork, and all she needs is a site plan explaining whatever landscaping she's going to do. The other thing that's not listed on the site plan that we typically see with child daycares is a outside play area. I'm not sure if the applicant actually has play area, is planning to have an outside play area. I know based on the state, if you have a certain amount of square footage, you may not necessarily have to have an outdoor play area, but the site plan doesn't list that. So that is another thing that they take into consideration during design review. I know that's not really something that they need here at this location.
It says
in terms of variances.
Play area. It's labeled on there. And this is also not the updated one because I sent you a current one that you asked for, and it showed where that landscaping 3-foot strip would go. So maybe you didn't pull the right one because this isn't it. We've spoken numerous of times and I've sent you updated emails. And that was the whole purpose. I showed you the new landscaping.
Maurice, do we have any other plans that show landscaping?
This is all I have received, Madam Chair.
Again, I haven't received it.
You received it, Shannon?
I did not. And it was communicated to me that, there's been a request for her to go through design review as is typically needed for an application. I understand we're not trying to single out the applicant. This is something that has to happen with generally every application in a design review district. And so, we could quickly get this through and done. Just need to work with the applicant and the applicant to work with us, and it can be moved along pretty quickly.
Shannon, could we ask you to be the point person on this and get it processed through so she can get it to design review next Tuesday? So then she can come back to us if she needs to.
Yeah, I'll type my contact information into the chat.
Would that be acceptable to the board and to the appellant if we do that?
Sure.
Ms. Scott?
That's what has to be done.
Yes.
Her contact information disappeared before I could get it.
Okay.
We'll make sure you have the connection.
Should we get a postponed date just in case?
Yes.
Let's make it the 30th of November and maybe we won't need it.
Madam Chair, to Ms. Kukla, if you have Ms. Scott's email, could you forward her Sharonda and Shannon's email addresses, please?
Yes, I can do that. And November 30th works for us too, Madam Chair.
Okay, without objection, board?
Without objection.
Without objection.
Okay, fine, without objection. Okay. There, we'll work with you, Ms. Scott, to try to get you through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, hon.
Calendar 20-155 at 16001 Holmes Avenue. Go right ahead, Ms. Faith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Calendar number 20-155 at 16001 Holmes Avenue. Annette Gibson, AKA Reliable Hearts Enrichment Center, owner, proposes to change use to an office in a B1 two-family residential zoning district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record.
Thank you very much. Mr. Tim?
Everyone for this case, please raise your right hand. I'm going to make a statement. Your response is I do with your name. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do. Annette Gibson.
Anyone else?
Okay.
Hearing none, I move forward.
Thank you very much. History of the property, please, Mrs. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In the records room, I found a permit was issued in 1926 to erect a garage. There is one variance on file, Madam Chair, in calendar 11-99. In 2011, a variance was granted to change use to a beauty salon. And then in more recent history, Madam Chair, I found in 2011, permit was issued to install 4 new replacement windows. And then also in 2011, a permit was issued to install new fire retardant fabric above the walkway, a 3-foot projecting from the wall. And then there was a permit in 2019 to install one 20 square foot non-illuminated sign. That's all that I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Yielding to the Law Department, Ms. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting permission to, the wrong one. Appellant is requesting a use variance. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship, particularly to the property, such that there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and the granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Maurice, can you put up a plan, a picture, plan, something again? Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Gibson, tell us exactly what you'd like to do.
So we like to use the space, the building itself, kind of like a family resource center. We'd like to hold enrichment programs. We'd also like to be able to assist the school districts with offering space for virtual learning. Just things of that nature, after school programs, resources where families in the community can come to get information on other resources that are available in the community, just along that nature.
Okay. Is there anybody else on this call? We heard from the councilman, who's usually very on top of it. Liz?
No, Madam Chair, I don't have anything from Councilman Polensek.
His office sent in a letter. I have it if you guys don't have it, but they sent it in to BZA.
Can you read it to us? Anybody answer me?
What happened?
Hello, Liz, are you looking for something?
Oh yeah, I am. I'm looking for it. I don't have it in the file And I just checked my email. I don't see anything from him.
And there's nobody, okay. The Local Development Corporation? Nothing?
It's a very nicely kept structure.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I would ask the applicant, do they plan on adding the one bicycle parking space? Number 3 on the variance list?
I think she's disappeared.
Ms. Gibson? Ms. Gibson?
Oh, we may have a technical difficulty.
I believe we do.
I do see her online, but
Yeah, I do too, but
if we don't hear back, should we go ahead and move ahead and maybe she'll be able to reconnect?
Yeah. Let's read the next case. She comes back, we'll put her in.
Madam Chair, do you wish to move forward?
yes.
Okay.
We don't have her online or on anything, right? Okay, go ahead.
She's listed, I can see her in the list, but we can't hear her, so she may be experiencing technical difficulties.
Okay.
Okay. We're moving on to calendar 20-156. Go
There's
ahead,
a new
Ms.
Annette Gibson just hooked in.
I'm sorry, I got kicked out.
No, you didn't. Go ahead, where were we?
Is that you? Is that you, Ms. Gibson?
Yes, it is. I'm so sorry. I got disconnected somehow.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so
You were gonna
I had
read
to-
us the letter.
yes. So I have the letter. And it says, Dear Secretary and Board of Zoning Appeals, as councilman representing Cleveland's Ward 8, I am writing this letter to the Board of Zoning Appeals regarding the calendar number 20-155 for the address of 16001 Holmes Avenue, which will be heard in front of BZA on Monday, October 26, 2020. I have spoken to the appellant, Ms. Annette Gibson, regarding her plans for the building as an enrichment center and office for her business. The Burnott Building, located at 16001 Holmes Avenue, was built by the grandparents of the late Senator George V. Voinovich as a grocery store in the growing Collinwood Village community. It was built as a business with apartments above. Her proposed use as a business and office, although not permitted in a two-family district as this area is zoned for currently, is not against what the building's use was intended for. I have no problems with placing a business once again in this location. I would hope that the BZA finds in favor of the appellant in this case so that Ms. Gibson can open this needed center amongst those residents who could benefit from its services. The need for 20 parking spots per zoning is not a need for this use. There is on-street parking, and if need be, a contract, I am sure, could be made with the Collinwood Slovenian home at 15810 Holmes to use their parking lot. If there are any questions or comments pertaining to my support of this endeavor, please feel free to contact me. I may be reached at, and then his office information is listed.
Madam Chair, Maurice Rowland, City Planning, to the applicant, were you planning on adding a bicycle parking space? Item number 3 on.
Okay, so with the bicycle parking space, we do have room in the front of the building because we only need one rack per 20 spaces is what I was told, correct? So if we need that rack, there is room in the front of the building that would not obstruct the sidewalk for walking pedestrian traffic. So yes, we can do that.
Madam Chair, based on the councilman's letter of support and the applicant agreeing to add the bicycle parking in the front of the building, City Planning definitely supports reuse of this building.
Thank you very much. Any other questions, board?
Mr. Riccardi had a question.
Oh. What was Mr. Riccardi's question?
Hi, excuse me, I don't hear nothing. Is this expected? No, I don't.
Oh, Madam Chair,
that's Riyadh Salih. I may be mispronouncing the name wrong, but he's not hearing anything.
Oh.
Okay,
Is he for this case?
No, but he is coming up.
okay.
In terms of parking, then, there's no parking associated with the building now?
Ms. Gibson?
There is parking on the street 160th. That's on the side street. We have parking in the driveway. I'm not exactly there's parking available. I don't know if I'm understanding that question.
Is that a garage that could accommodate parking?
Yes, that is a garage, sir.
And how many cars would fit in the garage?
3, 2 on one side, 1 on the other.
So you have 3 spots right there. So we're not forgiving all the parking. We're only forgiving 20 minus 3, 17 parking spots. Could we park in front of the doors back there? Is that?
We can park on the side. We can't park in front of the building on that side of the street.
Right.
The driveway is available for use. It can hold 5 cars maybe. And then the side street, and then the Slovenian home is a couple of blocks, a couple of feet down homes.
Have you had any conversation with them, or?
Not in regards to parking.
Do you think that's going to be an issue for you or not?
No, I don't think parking will be an issue at all.
Okay.
Well, they're only
Madam
signed
Chair?
for 6 parking spaces. Go ahead.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. The write-up only says 6. I'm not sure where the 20 came from.
Well, they might be able to fit 6 right there with the garage.
Yeah.
And
Exactly. Okay. Any other comments, board? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
do they need a variance? If they got 3 in the garage and 3 in front, they're putting the bicycle facility in. What else do they need? Oh, change of use, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Changes. Yeah.
Never mind.
Madam Chair, would you like me to make a motion?
That'd be wonderful. Thank you, Faith.
Thank you. Given the letter of support from Councilman Polensek and the support from the City Planning Department in review of the 3 variances, item number 3 with regard to the bicycle rack, the appellant is going to solve that by installing a bicycle rack in the front of the building. Item number 2 is the requirement for 6 parking spaces. In review of the site plan, there are 3 parking spaces in the garage and an additional 3 that can easily be used in the paved area of the driveway. That leaves us to number 1, which is a change of use, which the councilman supports. So with all that information, I move that we go ahead and approve calendar number 20-155 at 16001 Holmes Avenue.
Second.
Do we need to have it shown on the plan? Maurice?
Parking?
Liz,
Parking in the bicycle facility?
Yes, it would. Well, Madam Chair, to Liz, do you normally require that the plans be updated before you?
Yes, most of the time the board does request that a revised drawing be submitted. Sometimes they do it without, but that's rare. Also, Madam Chair, I believe that the parking spaces will still need a variance, as the parking next to the building is, those are not legal parking spaces then. They would have to be back behind the building in order to be considered legal.
So, to Ms. Kukla, there is adequate parking
on the street.
Right in front of the garage as well, without having to use the side driveway for parking. So if they garage 3 cars, there's still a car length directly in front of the garage.
Somebody mute their phone.
So there's still a vehicle length distance directly in front of the garage, Liz, so that they can accommodate.
those would not count as they would be in front of the parking spaces in the garage.
Okay.
So those people parked in the garage would need to be able to get out. So it's been my understanding that those tandem type parking spaces, they would only count as one and not two in that case.
Okay.
I don't know if Mr. Riccardi can correct me, but that's been my understanding of it.
Nope,
He
Mr.
says that's
Riccardi
correct.
says that is correct, yes.
Okay. So, so we're going to have to give them a variance then on 3 parking spaces. And your point's taken that we would need to, make this approval conditional on the submission of updated plans showing the bike rack and showing parking spaces for the garage, in the garage structure. Is that correct, Ms. Kukla? Is there anything else we need to amend?
No,
Madam Chair, that sounds correct.
Okay. So we have a motion, we have a second. Please call the roll.
Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Ms. Faith?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Calendar 20-155 is granted. It'll be ratified it'll be ratified once we receive that revised drawing, and then we will send you a letter.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
Calendar 20-156 at 5407 Detroit Avenue, Cortland Building Ltd. Go ahead, Ms. Faith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Calendar number 20-156 at 5407 Detroit Avenue. Cortland Building Limited owner proposes to establish use as a tattoo shop in a C2 local retail business district and a pedestrian retail overlay district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda in the public record.
Thank you very much. Mr. Donovan?
Will everyone for this case please raise your right hand? I'll make a statement. Your response is I do, and your name. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do, Jessica Trevisano.
Okay.
I do, Adam Davenport.
Okay.
I do, Andy Spooples.
Anyone else? Hearing none, we move forward.
Okay. History of the property, please, Mrs. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It was originally zoned semi-industry in 1929. In 2008, it was changed to local retail and pedestrian retail overlay district. In the records room I found in 1942, a permit was issued to repair fire damage to a 3-story brick mixed-use building containing 3 stores and 14 suites. Then in 1972, I found a permit stating that the authorized use of the property is 3 stories, 1 church, and 16 suites. And then there was a note that it has historically been used as a restaurant and a secondhand store in that building. There are no variances on file, and in the more recent history I found, in 2019, a permit was issued to establish use as a yoga studio, and that's all that I have.
Thank you very much. Ms. Wagner, legal standard.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting a use variance and area variances from the distance regulations of the zoning code. To obtain the use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship, particular to the property, such there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Who's going to be the spokesperson for Cortland Building?
So Good morning, Madam Chair. This is Jessica Trevisano from Detroit Shoreway. Detroit Shoreway, actually, we own the building, Cortland LTD, but we have given the appellant and Andes the opportunity to present and talk about his business with you all, since he has more direct knowledge. So I'll let him take it away and tell you what he's planning to do there.
Hello, everybody. I'm Andes. So I'm looking to open a tattoo studio here on the street on the district. It seems to be that it seems to be appropriate to have a Gordon Square Art District, something art related. So I've been looking to open a place here for almost 2 years now. So I found a place to be very appropriate and next to a barbershop, which seems to be very excited to have me here. So I was just hoping to have approval of the zoning change.
What are the hours going to be?
Sorry, what's that?
The hours, what will they be?
The hours will be noon from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m.
And how many days, what days?
As of start, we go open from Tuesday through Saturday. So Sunday, Monday closed.
Okay. Is this the finished inside pictures that I'm seeing?
Yes, we still have some more work to do, but that's kind of like as it is now.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're trying to create something really appealing to people who are passing by, and then just trying to create some sort of artistic vibe and just bring some sort of a, different. I feel like the art district needs more art always.
Good point. Okay. Is that head on above the sofa there something you
No,
took care of?
no, I'm a vegetarian. I don't hunt it myself.
Okay, fine.
Madam Chair, could the local development corporation speak to some of the more universal issues, a la how many feet from a daycare or church or something, and whether or not they see this having a negative impact?
Ms. Trevisano?
Sure. Thanks. Thank you, everyone. So because this space is within one of the properties that we control, we actually really closely vet any business that's going to be located in one of our buildings. What that involves is having a business submit a proposal with financial projections that is then reviewed by a board made up of our board members, community members, other businesses in the district, to determine its appropriateness for the neighborhood, for the area. This business in particular, the aesthetics that Andes has, and this building, being located on Detroit, which is such a key commercial corridor, we thought that this use would have no interference with the centers, which is located, within 1,000 feet, or any of the churches located nearby. We also think that this is, a very appropriate use for a pedestrian retail overlay. It's something that people can walk by, get a sense of what the neighborhood is. And it's also, frankly, very convenient to the residents upstairs, to have a pretty light use that's mostly appointment based, not a huge parking demand, not a lot of noise, is, another huge benefit for the neighborhood. So, we kind of see this as a slam dunk, but for the necessity of getting the variance, since tattoo shops are not permitted in local retail districts by right.
Thank you. Any comment from Jessica, is there any comment from the council person?
The councilman submitted a letter in support. I'm happy to read it out loud. I don't know if it's on the record already, but I'm happy to share as well.
We have that, Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you. That's fine, as long as we have it as part of the permanent record.
Sure.
Is there anyone against it?
Adam, I think Adam was sworn in.
I was. back in City Hall today, actually, so I'm wearing my mask. We are definitely supportive of use like this. The first photo doesn't entirely show the whole building that this space is occupying. There's a couple other storefronts that are next to it and beside it. Oh, there we go. Nice, Maurice. So that's the whole Cortland building. They're very small storefronts that don't have a lot of or really any off-street parking. So whatever goes in there, Detroit Shore definitely needs to look at a more kind of appointment and low traffic business, which I think Jessica and her team are definitely doing. So I think a space like this definitely warrants a business like this, and it's something that we should kind of look to amend and look at when we talk about the pedestrian retail overlay and the form-based code, because I think situations are going to come up like this more and more where we get businesses that probably should be able to locate in a very small storefront like this by right, and clearly all are not created equal. This is the inside renovation looks extremely nice. It looks to be Detroit Shore does a vetting process for the business itself and for the financials, obviously to self-serve a little bit for themselves because they want a permanent tenant, but certainly that's overall healthy for the district as well. So, happy to support this business, happy to support this variance request. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, board? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair,
Madam
just on
Chair,
the
I'll go ahead
testimony.
and make a motion.
Tim, did you have a question?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Madam Chair, given the letter of support from Councilman Zone, the support from the CDC, and the statement by City Planning, Adam Davenport, and the fact that he makes a good point that this is consistent with form-based coding that is going to be something we're addressing going forward. It appears that the interior renovation has been very well done, and the project has a lot of support. So I move that we go ahead and approve the variances for calendar number 20-156 at 5407 Detroit.
Second.
Call the roll. Liz?
Ready for me to call the roll?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
Barnes, yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yep.
Did we hear Mr. Donovan?
Yes.
Yes. How many times do I got to say it?
I must know. I must be having a problem
We
on
didn't
my
hear
end.
you.
I'm sorry. And Ms. Bates?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Calendar 20-156 is granted. It'll be ratified next week, and we will send you a letter.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Calendar 20-157 at 18609 Rockland Avenue. Go ahead, Ms. Faith.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Calendar number 20-157 at 18609 Rockland Avenue. Riyadh Salah, owner, proposes to remove an existing roof of a dwelling to erect a 16-foot by 25-foot rear two-story addition to an existing single-family residence in an A1 one-family residential district. The owner appeals for strict relief from the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record.
Everyone for this case, please raise your right hand. I'll make a statement. You respond, I do, with your name. Here we go. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do, Adam Davenport.
Others? There has to be an appellant.
Mr. Salah, would you, can you respond? Hello?
Mr. Salah?
He was having some difficulty earlier hearing this meeting.
Did you call in with your phone, sir? You might need to put your phone up to your ear.
Madam Chair? Oh,
Yes.
you there?
You hear me?
So, Madam Chair, you may recognize this case. It is a repeat. They were granted a variance earlier this year to erect a 9 by 25 addition, and now he's requesting a 16 by 25 addition. I don't know if you're going to need much testimony from him. I see that Mr. Davenport is here for that as well.
Let's hear from Mr. Davenport.
I actually haven't seen the new site plan for this. It wasn't. I came in this morning to look at it, but it was not submitted to my desk. So this would be the first time that I would look at it. But I did recognize the case from earlier this year. I mean, I don't know if the fencing is new compared to the old case that we saw before, but I feel like as you know, I usually advocate for fencing requests that they should just conform to our zoning code outright. The new addition, I think I have the same opinion of, that if somebody wants to invest in their house like this and put an addition on, I think that's good, and we should grant that.
Madam Chair, I would ask the appellant about the garage. These pictures were only taken 2 weeks ago, and the garage looks like it's ready to collapse. I'm sure it's something that could be cited by building and housing. Is that something that's going to be addressed? Mr. Salah, please, you're going to need to talk to your phone. Use your phone to talk to us.
Yes, I'm talking on the phone, brother.
Okay, now we can hear you.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what you're asking. You ask me something?
Yes, were you planning on fixing the garage as part of this project?
Okay, yes, I will fix it.
How about the street in front? Would you repave that for us?
Yeah.
It's not the big deal.
Do we have any plans showing that more it's 16 foot by 25 now? Instead of what we okayed 8 by 25, do we have that plan someplace? If this is the only one
Madam
we
Chair,
have?
that's the only site plan that I have. We have
Sorry,
no,
Madam Chair.
I have no elevations or anything else at this point.
Okay. Liz, did you have something to add?
Oh, Madam Chair, I would like to state that the last variance was granted with the understanding that a fence was not going to be erected in the front yard except to code. So the variances that they received last time only included section 357.09, which stated that required interior side yard is 11.9 feet, and the appellant is proposing 3 feet. So the only variance they received last time was the interior side yard. Apparently the fence was going to be complied with.
Well, they show on this plan the fence in the front yard is only 4 foot high. But the one in the back is 8 foot high.
So, Madam Chair, the 8 foot high fence is not part of the variance today.
Okay.
And we don't know what the fence is going to be made of. Perhaps the appellant could explain if it's going to be 50% open or not, and if it's going to be chain link fence or not.
Mr. Silla? Mr. Silla?
Yes.
Did you hear the question?
Can you repeat it again, please? Can you say it again?
Liz?
Mr. Saleh, could you explain the type of fencing that you're proposing in the front yard? Is it going to be chain link or ornamental picket style? And will it be 50% open? Are you actually asking for a variance for that chain link fence today? Or I'm sorry, the fence in the front yard?
Just a small fence, not too high, just a small fence, just for the kids. They won't go to the street. To prevent the kids didn't go to the street. Just a little fence, because they have 4 kids, 4 and 5, 6, 7 years old.
Which material are you proposing? Are you proposing a chain link fence or a wooden picket fence?
I think wood fence.
Oh, that's nice. How tall? How tall?
The plan shows 4 foot, Tim.
Okay. That's cool.
Okay.
I presume it's white, not painting that one black.
You know what? I said 8 foot high in the back, but now that I put my glasses on, it looks like it could be 6 foot high fence in the rear.
So the other question is the garage.
Yeah, this is to protect my kids so they don't cry, they don't go nowhere. Between me and my neighbors. My neighbors from the other side, they have 6 foot fence too, from the other side.
Ah.
Okay.
Are you fixing the garage?
Yes, I will fix the top of it. There's some bent on it at the garage, if you see over there. It just needs to be fixed, and the door too, I'm going to fix it. And there's a space like after I build the living room in the backyard because the house is too small. There's 15 feet left between the living room and the garage. That's what the engineer told me. They allowed you for like just 16. I asked him for 15 feet. They said they won't allow you. They just will allow you for 16 feet. 16 foot. Away of the,
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
It's question to the appellant. Did he just recently acquire this property, and is he going to be occupying it?
Mr. Saleh?
Yes.
There's your answer.
So, Madam Chair, it looks as though he is just acquiring the property and will be updating it. It looks as though it's been abandoned for some time, and he is probably the new owner. Madam Chair, the other issue, since I have the floor, I guess, there is number 2, which states that the fence is supposed to be 2.5 feet tall, where it runs parallel with the driveway. So, and it requires that it be 75% open. That is another variance that he's requesting today, and that's up to your discretion if you want to allow the picket fence, which is usually 50% open. Just wanted you to be aware of that code section, that he will still need a variance.
Thank you, Liz.
If he puts the fence off the sidewalk, like 3 feet or something, does that mitigate anything?
No, he's required to be 15 feet off the sidewalk and also 15 feet off of the driveway. So that little corner right there needs to be 2.5 feet tall and 75% open per code.
You might as well not even put a fence there.
The fence is on the other side of the house. Not where the driveway is. The fence is on Oh, never mind.
Madam Chair?
No, it's me. It's down the front, across the side, front, and down the side. Gotcha. Lordy, 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 could they make these any smaller? Okay.
You do have a Zoom button on the far left, Madam Chair. You should see the microscope or whatever the whatever
There's a
they
little
call
bar,
it. It's got a plus.
there's a vertical bar on the left-hand side of your screen that you should have a little zoom button and you can zoom into the image.
Oh.
No, I'm not doing this again. Hello. I'm afraid I'm gonna, oh, wait a minute. And, oh, hello. Yes. Thank you, everybody. Now I can see it. Hello.
You figured it out? Great.
And I can see it without my glasses or my magnifier. Hello. Okay. All right, but it's still 4 foot high and we want it to be, what did you say, Tim? You would go for 3 foot?
I was just talking to myself.
Oh, okay. All right, well, talk to me.
I mean, how far is it from the porch to the sidewalk? If it's 15 feet, then that's all, it's got to be 2 foot tall. The other question I have is there a way into this area where the fence is? How do you get people there? Is there a gate?
Likely it's the front door, Madam Chair.
Yeah, through the driveway and those
You
stairs.
have to put an extra stair there.
Yeah. All right. Adam, any comments?
No, as long as the fencing is like a picket style fence and not chain link, I think we're in the clear. Sometimes these plans get submitted without material, so I think that's why these things come up.
Okay. Board questions, comments, suggestions? Help.
Time for the motion.
All right. Ready to make one, Tim?
I move that we approve.
Would you like to be a little more specific?
Nah,
No.
I'm gonna let them have 4 feet in the front. What the heck? It's not a corner house.
No.
I don't know how people are gonna get in or out of it, but you know, that's
Not your problem.
not my problem. And I'd include there that he's gonna fix the garage and the roof. The roof and the door of the garage need to be attended to.
Okay. All right. Do we have a second?
Marlene, come on, help me here.
I'll second it, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Second over and over.
And Madam Chair, I would just state that item number 3, the appellant has stated for the record that the fence will be wooden and it'll be 50% open.
Okay.
So I will call the roll, Madam Chair.
Yes, please.
Ms. Barnes? Ms. Barnes?
Yes, you guys can't hear me?
Thank you. I can hear you now. Ms. Faith?
Yes.
Mr. Donovan?
Yep. Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Calendar 20-157 is granted. It'll be ratified next week and we'll send you a letter.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Elizabeth.
Okay. You're welcome.
Welcome.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Calendar 20-131 at 4352 West 57th Street. Mr. Dinka.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Go
Would
ahead.
you like me to read the case, Madam Chair?
Sure.
Okay. Calendar number 20-131 at 4352 West 57th Street. This is a reconsideration from September 21st, 2020. Theophil Dinka, owner, proposes to install approximately 25 linear feet of 6-foot-high fence in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record. Filed August 26, 2020, this case was denied. Appellant requested reconsideration and presented new information that warranted reconsideration.
Thank you very much. Go ahead, Tim.
Everyone for this case, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Do.
Name?
My
Your name,
is
sir?
Theophil Dinka. Theophil
Okay,
Dinka.
thank you. Okay. We've had the history already of the property. Let's just have the legal standard work be adjusting on. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance from the fence regulations of the code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Mr. Dinko, tell us exactly what is the new information that you have for us.
Yes, we're trying to, actually the fence is already built between my house and the neighbor house, and all over his house, it's fenced. And with this extension, we're trying to, when I did a measurement, I'm trying to have the part of the fence, the good part of the fence towards my house, and I need a measurement for that. But if I need to expand, I can gain additional 5 inches by moving the fence on the other side and close to the driveway. So it won't be that much, variance, the difference, in a requirement of the inches. At this point, I spoke to my neighbor and he's not interested. He said, I purchased a house like that. I don't like to do anything. And my problem is, the dog continued to destroy my house. I was trying to repair, the damaging, around the windows. The downspout actually is smashed, and I'm trying to replace even when the water gets collecting on for waterproofing, it's damaged. So I didn't do anything because I'm afraid I'm wasting money and the dog is going to do it again. So I'm requesting some help, to fix my side of the house, even the siding, and around the window, aluminum trim, that there's no paint on them. I don't know what that dog is doing, I have some issues with my neighbor. Man, it's do something, because you're really damaging my house, So I like to request, to get approval, to build this extension, to be happy, to have my house in a good condition,
Sir, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sure.
The gate that's in front of the house there on your neighbor's driveway.
Yes.
Does that extend onto your property as well?
Yes, the former owner, he asked me, because he installed, first of all, he installed the gate correctly. He was exactly on his property, when his wife, tried to pull the car on the driveway, she was ready to damage, to touch the windows, the mirror, I'm sorry, the mirror, and she pulled back, and former owner came to me, and I said, look, I have this little daughter, we like to keep it inside, and my wife, she cannot pull the car. Just let me to put just a post on your property, and when she gonna grow up, you know, we'll see. You do what you like to do. And I said, you know, to be in good relation with the neighbor, I said yes. I didn't sign anything, but I said yes. But 1 month down the road, he sold the house, and I realized the guy was a crook. So the guy who's gonna lose is myself because I got my house damaged right now. So my goal is to have my house fixed, you know, to repair the damaging. Even I don't like this guy to go in court with this COVID-19 and the stress from the court. I don't need that, you know. I'm going to repair with my own money by repair my house and keep the dog away. This is my goal.
How tall is that gate?
How far?
How tall?
How tall? I'm trying to build in the same way like the fence is a 6-foot fence. All over, you know, it's surrounding.
And so it's supposed to be a 4-foot gate.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, you know, 4 foot, you know, it's no problem.
No. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. We went,
yeah,
we did some research.
He said whatever what you're trying to build to keep the dog away, I'm okay with that. He said, I'm not worried about anything. Only he is a big fan of the dog. You know, he said, I like to keep the fence because he likes the dog so much, you know.
Well, you know, you're a very poor negotiator on your own behalf, I'll tell you that. I mean, right now, you could take your post off of your property. You could just take that section right off. It wouldn't be there anymore. Dog could go run free. That would help you solve your problem, believe it or not. And the other thing we could do is send an inspector out there and measure the gate. And if it's a 6-foot gate, which I think it is, and he had a permit to build a 4-footer, we could tell him, take it down, put a 4-foot gate there.
Put in the front of the house, 4-foot gate?
Yeah.
No,
that's what, when we did our research, that's what we showed, right? Cindy, yeah. Do you remember this?
No, I got 6-foot fence, and the dog almost to jump out in my property. That one, it's.
That's not your problem, though. If the dog wants to jump the fence, who cares?
Yeah, but if it comes in my property, it's a bad one, you know. It's a bad dog, you know.
That dog, he's gonna go for. He's gonna be in a different county. He probably doesn't like the owner either.
Right. I think by building this fence, you know, the problem will be solved. You know, my neighbor will be happy. I'm happy. Keep the dog away, and in time.
You're never going to be happy. This dog is never going to let you be happy.
Right.
Just so you understand that. You're going to spend money, your own money. You think you're going to fix the problem. You're not going to. You know, all we can do is we could feed you and say, okay, I'll tell you what. Put an 8-foot fence there. Make it even taller. So that dog has no way of getting over your fence.
And I have my son too in here. I don't know if he...
Yeah, the neighbor agreed to have the fence built closer to his driveway, so that would give us an additional couple of inches there.
5 inches.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, my thing would be to take the fucking fence off of your property, you know. But right. I see you're not going to do that. So I guess the only remedy we can give you is to feed your idea of putting in a parallel fence. And you know what? Is there still room between where you would put the fence and his driveway?
It would be right on the edge of the driveway, on his driveway.
So right on the edge of whatever, it's asphalt or whatever?
Yes, yeah, and he's okay with that.
Yeah, it's a concrete driveway. He's okay with that. He said it's fine, you know. It's no problem.
It's on his property, though.
No, it's probably right at the edge.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go on.
Just a couple questions and a couple things just to verify. So I believe, Mr. Dinka, that you testified when you were last before us that your wife has been standing at the kitchen window doing dishes, and the dog has jumped as high as the kitchen window. Is that correct?
In a kitchen and a bedroom, actually the bedroom window. And since we have this doggy, believe me, we didn't open any windows. Yeah, look at this now. I can see.
Right.
And try to put some fresh air, and the dog starts jumping. Wow, she was scared to death. I said, don't never open any windows because you can get this doggy inside, and I don't know how bad it will be.
Right.
Something. So that's I like to keep that dog away. It's a scary thing.
Yeah. So to both of you, sir, and your son, how far is your property line from the neighbor's driveway? Is it 6 inches? Is it 4 inches? Is it a foot? Where is your property line from the edge of the neighbor's driveway?
The property line is right where the fence was built. I think, about 25 inches. It's rough. It's 25 or 26 inches, because when I didn't know it's so important, this, when you measure, and I have seen it like 25, it could be 26 inches, the property line.
That is the property line or the fence line? Have you had your lot professionally surveyed?
Yeah, it's a fence line. The property line, actually, we have no idea what it is, but this is the line of the fence. We try to build exactly straight with the existing fence, just to build the extension on it.
So do you, and just as a point of information, do you happen to know what breed of dog this is?
I don't know. It's a black one and very long, and it's nasty. It's pretty nasty. I said to make sure this doggy is not coming outside because you can kill somebody. It's so bad. I trying. When I walk on my property, along the fence, even to cut my grass, he was so bad. Was jumping in a fence. It's barking and barking and barking, and I said, man, I talked to him, I said, man, we have to do something with this dog. It's not right. I'm afraid to cut my grass and my backyard. This is not right, man. I understand you have a dog, but it's destroyed everything around.
Mr. Dinka, do you want to keep that section of fence that goes from your house to his gate? There's a distance of probably a couple feet. I see in the one picture they have their mailbox mounted there.
Right. Yeah, for me it doesn't bother me that much. If I keep the dog away, because in time if we don't know doggy to take that section done, probably going to take me half hour. In half hour that fence will be disappeared. It's just an extension. But
I don't think they have a post to frame the
yeah, that
because it's so
it
close to the
doesn't.
driveway, so that's why they put a post right in the corner of the house so they can frame the gate. If we take that off, then they won't have any support.
I started arguing with him, and I said, one day, when I get crazy, I'm going to cut the post. He said, be careful because I have to let my dog outside, and it will be my fault because the dog will come out, and we start arguing. I don't like this kind of it.
Well, first of all, sir, that's not your responsibility. His dog is not your responsibility. As the dog owner, it's for him to contain his animal. And it's that you have signed nothing legally that says that the previous owner could have put that section of fence on your property. So you could remove it should you choose to. We have looked at this. The reason we denied it in the first place was we felt that it wasn't in your best interest, and that you were essentially kind of, you know, the neighbors had sort of taken advantage of you. So I think what we're inclined to do is to let you build a fence.
Thank you very much.
And let me finish, and to let you build the fence on the lot line. I think my colleagues will confirm if that's something that can be approved or not, but we would allow you to build the fence on the lot line without any setback. And we would also allow you to build the fence taller than 6 feet. My experience in managing a dog park that has 58,000 dogs through its gates every year, I have a pretty good knowledge of most breeds of dogs. And what we generally say is there's no bad dogs, there's only bad owners. This dog has a bad owner that's not containing, nor controlling, nor training his dog. So the dog has obviously done extensive damage to your home and your property. And so I think if you wanted to if you wanted to go to 8 feet or, you know, perhaps even higher, that's probably something.
Foot is fine.
As long as the dog doesn't go above 6 feet. You know, we don't want you. And
I watch him, you know, he's not jumping.
Maybe we should put a 10-foot.
End of the fence, you know, towards the other neighbor.
We're gonna.
Maybe
I think Mr. Donovan wanted to comment that we'll give you an allowance up to a certain height, so that if you choose to go higher, you can.
Thank you very much.
Allowance from allowance. I'm going to say 10 foot. I'm going to say silver. What's that fence you were mentioning before? The metal fence.
Cyclone?
Cyclone, the ugly fence. Let them put the ugly fence with with barbed wire on the top of it. And two, I'm not a lawyer, but I think there is in some kind of law that if you have possession of a property that isn't yours for a certain amount of years, it becomes your property. And I think this guy's getting in that situation where he's going to find himself one day, somebody that's going to hire a lawyer and says, well, you know what? Did this guy ever say, like, give you a problem that he built his gate on your property? Oh, I told him it's okay. Well, guess what you're telling him? It's okay to take my property.
Right.
And I think that, you know, you got to think twice about, you know, what the real ramifications are here.
And when the day comes, excuse me, Mr. Donovan, when the day comes, Mr. Dinka, that you want to sell your house, you want to make sure that your neighbor hasn't essentially taken ownership of that strip of land from you. So I think it would be prudent for you to get a professional surveyor and have him stake and pin your property. And then we would go ahead and give you a variance to put the fence on the property line, as long as that's within our preview to do that.
But my suggestion would be then to not have grass growing alongside his house, so that he doesn't have to worry about getting there and cutting it. Put the, you know, the
stones.
The stones, right?
Yep.
Right.
The river stones and all.
And I could see a lot of like signs hanging from this cyclone fence. Beware of dog.
Right.
Beware dog, jumping dog or something. I don't know.
Oh.
Contest. How many signs can we put up there?
Tim, you're wonderful.
And if the dog is able to climb the fence and get into your yard, Mr. Dinka, that he is then a stray dog, you are certainly able to call animal control and have the dog picked up as a stray.
Okay, thank you, yes.
Okay. Going to make a motion here?
Tim, you want a motion?
You want to go for the 10-foot fence with razor wire?
No.
I'm okay with the height. I think we need to nix the razor wire.
I'll let the owner decide.
Mr.
He
Dinkins?
may, that Rachel Ware could keep that dog away from there.
Yes.
Okay. Madam Chair, I don't know if the city would be in agreement with that. Sounds like a more of an industrial thing.
Yeah.
That's a
With
safety
the
issue.
But
You
that
heard
I
him
said,
talk about how that dog could kill him.
6 foot should be fine.
No. No.
Let's give him to 10 feet. Let's nix the razor wire.
I'm thinking 8 feet is more than enough. It's 2 foot higher than this fence that you're looking at.
And what material, Carol?
Wood.
Wood.
Okay. Okay.
You're making the guy pay more than for what reason? Why has he got to pay even more?
Because I think you're setting a precedent that I don't even want to go to.
Well, the precedent would be the barbed wire.
I'd rather see you electric.
I have some squirrel around me. I don't like to hurt them. I'm not going to put that.
No. He's not going to do that either.
No.
All right, let's hear the motion.
No.
Who's making the motion, Tim or Alana?
I don't know. I thought Tim was.
I don't think you want me making the motion.
I don't think so either. Alana, I trust
Okay,
you.
All right. Okay. On calendar number, excuse me, let it get back in front of me. On calendar number 20-131 at 4352 West 57th. Upon reconsideration, we are going to grant the variance to the appellant. We are going to give him some leeway and allow him to erect the fence on his lot line without a setback. Ms. Kukula, is that within our ability to do that?
Absolutely.
Carrie, you are.
It's on his property.
Okay, that's correct. So we will allow you to erect the fence on the lot line without a setback from the lot line. I would encourage you to get your lot professionally staked and pinned so that you have that precedent set for any future issues that might arise. And we're also going to allow you to erect a fence up to 10 feet in height. And it can be wooden. You want to allow chain link, Madam Chair?
Sure.
Okay. So the fence can be up to 10 feet in height. It can be either wooden or chain link.
And it can be constructed in a manner where the good side is facing him, not the neighbor.
Correct.
Madam Chair, that might not be a good idea because the horizontal board would allow for the dog to get over the fence. So the finished side should face the neighbor.
Right. So, and for the record, we also would like to say that the section of fence that attaches to Mr. Dinka's house that supports the neighbor's gate is on Mr. Dinka's property and is not legally
installed.
And is not legally installed. Thank you. Have I covered everything for everyone?
Yes. Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll second that. Call the roll.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Ms. Barnes.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Donovan?
No.
Mr. Donovan?
He said no.
He said no? And Ms. Faith?
Yes.
Mrs. Johnson?
Yes.
Calendar 20-131 is granted, and it'll be ratified next week, and we'll send you a letter.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. I appreciate your help. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dinka. Good luck to you and stand your ground, please.
Right,
Tag the
thank you.
guy's house next to you.
Yep.
It's Halloween.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're doing old business.
We can't. Let's see. Oh no, we can do them all. Yeah. Got everybody here.
Who's the C? Who's the C?
You.
No, I'm usually Jay. Look down below. I'm Jay Johnson.
Oh, we switched it to C. I'm sorry. That was Cassandra's been doing these. I completely haven't looked at that
That's unacceptable. I noticed that.
Got it.
No,
We'll
you
fix
can't
that.
You can't use my first name.
Okay.
Got it.
But still, you're here, and you can vote on ratifying these.
1
You
through
got
8
all three
without
people here,
1 through 8 without objection.
without objection.
Without objection.
Without objection.
And then Mr. Donovan had a question about Kelly Britt and the cases that she was on. So I did go back and check those, and the first date that she missed was September 21st. So none of these cases, she was here for these cases. So I did update who was there for the cases shown there on the old business.
Well, no, my question was, in terms of ratifying these, if we have 3 board members that vote on them, and then we go to the ratification, what makes quorum? Is it 2, in other words, is it a group of 3 that quorum's based on? So if you have 2, you got 2/3, which is quorum? Or is it quorum as defined by the whole board, which is 3? So you'd have to have all 3 people that were here to hear the
Yes.
case to ratify it. That was my question.
I think all 3. Whoever acknowledged it at the hearing, they have to be the ones to ratify.
And you need all 3 to make quorum, right?
Correct.
Which we do today, which is fine.
Right. Mhm.
All right. That was my question, though.
And that's my answer.
Okay.
Well, we were looking for the law department for an answer, but
Well, you're not going to find one. Oh, Lori's still with us. Lori?
Yeah.
What's the question you want answered? You do need to have 3 as a quorum. I believe since this is an administrative action, it doesn't necessarily need to be the same 3 board members as before. And that may be contrary to what I said on first impression, but thinking about it, I think it's fine if it's not the same 3.
what if there's only one?
Only one what? You
One
need 3
of
board
the
members.
3 board members that helped make the motion are here then to vote on ratification.
It shouldn't make any difference. As I said, I think ratification is an administrative matter, and as long as you have 3 people there voting, it's fine whether or not they're the same 3 people that made the motion.
Okay. I
Really?
somehow figured you'd have to know about the case for some reason.
Yeah, that's me too.
Well, not really. It's just a procedural thing. Many boards actually the decision is final as of when it's announced. So.
Okay. All right, we got 2 law going to court, huh?
Oh, wonderful.
Barley House.
No surprise, really.
No.
No, family video.
So,
Okay.
anything else?
No, I think that's it.
That's it.
Have a great week, everybody.
Good to see
Thank
everyone.
you.
Good to see everyone.
We're adjourned.
Take care.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.